Howdy y'all, it's Kathy from Rice Paper Scissors, and I wanted to participate in the ABC April 2025 challenge, and today is the letter C, and I chose corrugated cardboard. And what I wanted to demonstrate how to make was this little clip, little tag that's a clip into a junk journal, but it's made, the base is corrugated cardboard. So that's what we're going to make today. And I've done a little bit of prep. I picked out the sizes of the cardboards and the digitals that I wanted to use. I wanted to make this Paris themed, this Paris postcard themed. I'm backing them all with a ribbon twist paper, and I use that a lot. I like it because it gives you a lot of dimension or texture, but no dimension is what I'm trying to say. So this is what it looks like, and you untwist it, and I cut it to size and untwist it, and that's what I use. But I love that. And again, this is what I used on this one, and I like to tear it so it kind of sticks up and frames the image. So I've glued this one onto some ribbon twist paper, and I'm cutting it down to size. I like to use, I think these are called deco edge scissors. These were from Creative Memories. My sister had them, and I inherited them. And so I just am cutting around the image. And the reason I like to do those, it gives the look of a torn edge without having to tear it, because this paper is pretty sturdy and it really doesn't tear very easily. So you may find that different, but that's what I have found. So what I'm trying to do is just cut along here and even it up and make the edge, and then we'll glue it down. And they're very simple. And I'm gonna just trim this edge just a little bit and get that looking a little ragged. And then this edge, I'm going to need to cut very close to the edge because I want the same around the postcard. So I'm just trying to carefully cut that. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I thought this would be a fun challenge to participate in. I've never done challenges. I'm doing the Grungy Tag Challenge 2025, and then I'm doing this one. So, and then what I wanted to mention, I like to also ink around this ribbon twist paper and just get it a little bit more distressed. And then I've sized these postcards to about the size that I want, or the corrugated cardboard about to the size that I want. But I'm going to cut that cardboard down just a little bit because I'll show you what I'm going to do. But you could spend more time inking. I just don't want to take your time. And then I'm going to trim up the edge of this cardboard. Again, I used the deco scissors to make kind of that rugged edge, and the cardboard tears very easily, but sometimes I like it to be kind of straight and even, so I use the scissors. And then what I do is when I glue the back of the image onto the ribbon twist paper, I try and straighten out the back because it does get a little wrinkly. And then I just take this is barely art glue, and I don't go all the way to the edge because I want the edge to fold up. So I just glue where the image is, and then I'm going to put it down. See if I can I may have to get my head in the picture, but I'm just going to center it on the page. Now, it's not going to show when you first see that I put it down. You're not going to see the cardboard. But when I tear the paper along, and then I'll fold it up a little bit, and then it kind of curls and gives you an image. And you can fold it as much or tear it as much as you want. I only teared it, a couple of places. But I like that edge to stand up. And then I probably would have inked around the edge of the cardboard before I glued that down, but I forgot when I was filming. So that's that. And then all I'm going to do is take a rusted alligator clip and see where the paper is folded, you have the ups and downs, the ridges. I'm just going to choose one that's just about in the center, and I'm going to clip my alligator clip on there, and you're done. So what I wanted to say also was, however, the orientation of the ridges on the corrugated cardboard, that's going to determine where you put your alligator clip. And I think in this one might be more in the center. Yeah. So this one, I wanted it to sit on the edge of a page. And I have a page here in a junk journal that I just want to show you an example that you can clip it on to a page, and it's in the journal, and then when you close it up you can see it from the top. So that's why on the one, our example, it has a little piece of rhinestone, and if you put it on the side, this one goes on the side of a journal, so if you closed it you would see the rhinestone. So that's why I have that. And then I just wanted to do a couple more, just showing you how easy they were. This one is just about ready to go. It's an image of the dress form. I always think that looks like Paris. So I have my piece of cardboard. I just need to cut it down a little bit more. So I'm going to look and see if any of the side edges are not straight. And then I'm going to probably cut on this side. So I'm just going to hold it, eyeball it, because I don't have to trim very much. But I'm just going to trim it down a little bit with the deco edge scissors. Okay. And then I'm going to take my ink and we'll just ink around the edge. And I love the brown ink on the brown cardboard. I really like that. And I'm kind of into grunge, so I like that. And then all I'm going to do, I've already inked around the image, and then I inked around the ribbon twist paper, and we're just going to glue it on. I put a lot of glue because the ridges, sometimes, you don't always get the glue everywhere you want. And then again, I center it on the cardboard. And then I'm going to tear, once again, around the edges so it'll roll up. And that's why I don't glue all the way to the edge, so the edge is available. And then I just kind of, manipulate it and make it kind of curl up. And that's just me. If you don't like that look, you do it how you like it. And then this one, the orientation of the ridges are going this way. So I'm going to pick a ribbon, a bridge, and I'm just going to slip my clip on there, and now you have another clip for a journal page. So they're very easy, they're a lot of fun. And then this last one, I'll just show you what it's like to glue it down and cut it. And so they go fairly fast, but I think they're a fun addition to a junk journal. Now on this one, I'm trying to spread out the paper a little bit, and then I'm going to pick my spot, and I'm going to cut around this one, around all the edges. Okay. So, and then I turn it over, and like I say, I try and smooth out the back, just so you'll get a good adhesion. And then I'm going to take my deco scissors and just go around, and you could ink this one too, but I don't think I'm going to, on the edge. Sometimes you just have to pull it. Like I say, my scissors aren't probably the best, and sometimes it cuts really easy, and then sometimes it's getting in my way. Okay. And then this, I just try to make it the frame the same all the way around. Okay. That doesn't look real even, so let's try and trim it up. There we go. Okay. And then this last side. Okay, this is the cardboard that I had chosen for this one. And I'm going to have the ridges facing up and down. I'm going to put my paper on there. I probably need to trim it a little bit more. Let's trim it just a little bit more. I want to be able to see the cardboard. But I'm sorry if I'm out of frame. I apologize. And okay, let's trim up this side. Always a challenge when you're filming to get it just how you want it. Just a little bit more. I'm sorry to redo this, but I should have measured a little bit better. Okay, there. Sorry to make a mess. Okay. And then we're just going to glue it on, and we'll be good to go. And then you can just tear the paper or lift it up. Okay, and then that folds up and around and just gives you kind of a little tattered look. Now this one isn't sticking. I need a little bit more glue, I think. Let's put a little bit more glue. Sometimes it doesn't stick because it's just hitting those high pieces on the ridge, and it doesn't always, you need a lot of glue, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then this one, the alligator clip will go into, I can find, I can't see, let me get out here where I can see. My lighting's not real good. We're having stormy weather here in Texas today. And there we go. So I got it into just a little ridge there, and then you just push it in and you have a clip. Like I say, you could decorate those if you wanted. And so here's the 3 little tags that we made. And they're a lot of fun, very easy to do, and just adds a little dimension to your junk journals. That's the back, and then this is the bigger one. And then you could journal, you could journal on the back, and it would kind of be hidden journaling because you have it slipped over the page. So those are just some ideas. I want to thank you very much, and I hope to see you again when I do another prompt. Thank you.